Oh, hi everyone. So on Thanksgiving, I released a video about stocking stuffer ideas. So this is going to be a gift guide idea for any of the survivalists, preppers, bushcrafters, overlanders, anybody who goes outdoors in your life. This is going to be the great gift guide that you need to get them the right item for Christmas. So stick around, let's dig into it and see what we've got. All right, let's get to the first items on the list. So the first item that would be great for the survivalist, bushcrafter, all the above, would be a fixed blade knife. So everybody knows I have a large variety of fixed blade knives, so I just wanted to go over a few with you all to give you some ideas. So we have anything starting from like the $10 mark all the way up to custom handmade knives that are going to reach around $300. So let's just briefly run through them. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in the comments below. First one would be a Mora. I love Mora knives. This is just a cheap little $10 knife, but as you can see, I get a lot of use out of it. Nice thin blade, great for cutting. Up there in the like $50 to $70 price point would be the Cold Steel SRK. This is a honkin' blade, very thick, very tough design. It's been used all over the world, and this is a great survival knife. Also, this is another Mora. I have quite a few Moras. This is the Mora 2000 limited edition version, so I think the original handle is only in green. But I like this one a lot. Again, really thin spine, so great for slicing. If you want to beef it up in the Mora line, you've got the Scandi Grind. So this is the Mora Garberg. This one happens to be in stainless. I'm going to pick up the carbon steel one here shortly, but I like this thing. It's a very thick spine, full tang, so this will be a great survival and bushcraft knife. Then you've got Tops Baja 4.5. Reviews coming out on this one here pretty soon, but this has been a great knife. Tops makes some solid knives, and really any knife from Tops or Mora would be a great choice in any price point. We've got some more custom-made knives. This guy's actually made local here in Oregon. I can't recall the manufacturer, but I'll probably put it somewhere on the screen here. But this is a handmade knife. Just a great little survival knife. The sheath carries scout style. So everybody's gonna love a handmade knife. And then my favorite, my Adventure Sworn. I've carried this knife for many years. It's extremely tough, very beautiful. Again, this price point is going to be up there around the $250 all the way to $350 mark. But this is my all-time favorite bushcraft and survival knife. So if it's in the budget, I would definitely take a look at Adventure Sworn and some of the other custom handmade knives. Okay, going along with cutting tools, you've got axes and saws. So this is a small tomahawk that I picked up. I'm kind of using as a project. I'm going to do some design of the handle and then sharpen the bit, but this is going to end up just being a throwing tomahawk. And then also like a recreational type tomahawk. So these are great, really fun. And then if you want to get a little more tactical, you've got the SOG tomahawk, blunt end here, and then sharpened bit here. But this is just mostly for fun when camping. You know, you want to throw an axe, see how accurate you can be and that kind of thing. These are great for that. If you want to get into actual wood processing, this is my all-time favorite axe. This is a Brooks. I believe it's their Hunter's axe. I absolutely love this axe. It's a 2-pound head. As you can see, I've got a lot of use out of it. I've had this thing for a number of years. There's other great brands like Brooks is obviously great, Helco. And then if you want a plastic handle, I don't have any Fiskars, but you know, Fiskars make some good plastic handles. But typically I run the wood just because I can remake a handle and everything like that. But for the prepper, survivalist, bushcrafter, these small axes are amazing. Other cutting tools, saws. Baco Laplander, I've had this saw for a number of years. Great teeth, good size. For its blade length, it's actually very light, so it slips in the pocket, it slips in the pack really well. And then Silky makes this Pocket Boy saw. Very sharp teeth, very sharp teeth. I like this saw a lot. You can get them in all sizes. I mean, you can even get the Katana Boy, which is the size of a katana. But this is one I mostly carry. It's just a Pocket Boy. Again, fits in the pocket really well, in the pack really well. You can even use the spine to strike a ferro rod. So this is a great bushcrafting or survival small saw. So I really like these Sawyer mini water filters. There's many of these small water filters on the market. I really like the Sawyer. I've never had a problem with them. I stick them in just about all of my packs and vehicles. So you even see me use these in some of my videos. But I really like the Sawyer water filter. Anybody who spends any time outside, survival, bushcraft, even just hiking, should have a filter in their bag at all times. Along with having something in their bag at all times, having some sort of way to make shelter. This life bivvy or survival bivvy is a great option. It doesn't weigh anything. It's just a small Mylar sleeping bag inside of here with a whistle attached on this one. But this can literally mean the difference between life and death, so everybody should have an escape bivvy or a survival bivvy in their kit. Also, a ferro rod. So this is my all-time favorite ferro rod. I'll put the link in the description below. It's an octagonal shape, so you can actually really scrape a lot of sparks off of this. I don't usually use a scraper. I use the back of my knife or another tool I have. But a ferro rod is an absolute must for every outdoorsman or woman or survivalist. But your number one tool is going to be your brain, your survival mindset. So having some books, literature that you can read, whether it's this Survival 101 or Bushcraft 101, Bushcraft First Aid, Advanced Bushcraft, or trapping and gathering food, all of those right there are going to be a great resource. Whether the grid goes down, you lose power, or you're in a survival situation, having this information in your brain is going to be the difference between life and death. Next would be some sort of cooking set. So I carry in all of my vehicles one of these small stoves. It just fits in the small container. Everything comes unraveled. You attach it to one of these containers and you're good to go. But you gotta have a way to boil water, so I would include some sort of cup in the system so you can boil water, cook food, whatever the case may be, or even create medicine, what have you. But I will actually keep this container inside this cup in each of my vehicles. Okay, so segueing into vehicle preparation. So vehicle preparedness could be a large stream of videos, so I'm just gonna go over some of my top choices for vehicle preparedness. In my truck, I have one of the last US bag backseat organizers. This has several pockets, different sizes for me to keep things organized. I carry a lot of gear, I have a lot of hobbies and whatnot, so being able to keep everything organized in the cab is always a plus, and anybody who spends time outdoors, survival, preparedness is gonna really appreciate having some organization with all their gear. Next would be, this is just a basic roadside recovery kit. There's a Mylar blanket in here, orange Mylar blanket, some Mountain House meals, roadside flares, some just basic roadside necessities. I'm gonna do a separate video on this, but this is just kind of get your mind going. Then another great option would be a battery jumper. So this is actually a gift for somebody. So they will remain nameless, but Merry Christmas. But these are a great gift because whether it's going in the wife's car, your husband's car, or children who are just beginning to drive or whatnot, having a way to jump your own car or truck battery is going to be very crucial and very self-reliant. So that way you're not having to ask strangers for help. You can just be self-reliant, start your own battery, and get back on the road. A smaller item would be a glass breaker seatbelt cutter. All of my vehicles have these. I think everybody should have one of these in their vehicle, different shapes, different sizes. This one just has some glass breaking and then a seatbelt strap cutter there. But this can get you out of a bad situation. I think everyone should have one. And then on my truck, maybe not so much a car, but having an extra way of creating light is going to be very important. This is just a black oak LED light bar. You can get light pods, smaller light bars, bigger light bars if you want. But anybody who's spending time outdoors is going to need some extra light when they're on the trail late at night or even in the evening. So a light bar is a little bit higher dollar item, but it's a great investment for anybody who's going off-road. Another great item for any car, truck, or any other vehicle like that is going to be one of these Fieldcraft Survival panel packs. So this one I keep medical equipment in it. This one's going to be just some overall, small survival items. And then I have the Chase Tactical tourniquet holder down here on the bottom. So this just attaches on the visor of any vehicle. And if you need something, you just grab it. Again, it's attached. You grab it. You can run with it. And in that way, it's all kind of self-contained, and you don't have to look around your kit if you're in an accident. You could just grab this and go. Okay, so going into some tactical items, we can go into. This is a Tier 1 concealment CCW holster. This is for my SIG 365. These are custom-made holsters. You can pick the firearm type, flashlight, pattern, and everything too. I really like these holsters. Tier 1 makes some top-notch equipment and gear. I just happen to pick this Kuyu pattern because it's one of my favorites. So a custom-made holster for their firearm or carry item is going to be a great gift idea. Going along with that would be a battle belt. This is one from T-Rex Arms. I have some from Viking Tactical, but this one from T-Rex Arms I actually just picked up here at Black Friday, so I'm gonna test it out and see what I think. But you can basically go to T-Rex Arms website, G Code, Blue Force Gear, and they've got all Warrior Poet Society has some great attachments and belt systems. So if you go to any one of their websites, you'll be able to see the belt, the mag carriers, trauma kit, holster setups, and everything. So having a duty belt is going to make things more convenient on the range, and overall preparedness is just a good idea. Along with the belt would be a set of plate carriers. So in this one, I actually have some steel plates right now because I was running some drills and trying to get a workout in at the same time. But again, this one's got, I've got chem lights in this side, escape and evasion tool, medical equipment, and some other items in that. That one's from Preparedness Systems. There's all sorts of brands, but I really like Preparedness Systems, so I would check them out. And then you can't be tactical without a shamag. Everybody knows that. So these are super cheap. They're like 13, 14 bucks, and there's a lot you can do with them, whether you're laying them down, using them as a rag, or keeping your face warm. But a shamag is a great stocking stuffer, or even just a standalone gift. Hearing aid. So I carry some of these Surefire in-ear earplugs. I really like them, and then on top of them, sometimes I'll wear my walkers. These are the Electronic Ear Pro. These are great because they have a microphone, so you can still pick up ambient sound, but it will reduce the sound of very loud noises. So having like a set of Walker razors is going to be a great item for any survivalist or anybody who's in that shooting world. Along with that would be a good pair of eyeglasses, eyewear. So these are just mine. These are my clear Oakleys. There's all sorts of brands out there that you can choose from. This is just what I got at a show. So Oakleys make some really good ones. These have served me for quite a few years, and I really like them. So having some good eye pro is always a safe bet, not just for shooting, but even if you're chopping wood, working underneath the vehicle, if you're off-roading, you want to cover your eyes because there's loads of crud. It's all going to fall on your face. So eye pro. So I have a variety of these hammocks. This is a small Eno hammock, or this is, I believe, is actually the double nest, then set of straps to go with it. The straps just make life a lot easier, but you can get these hammocks with rain flies, you can get them with bug flies and everything. So if you're trying to find a quick form of shelter that doesn't take up a lot of space in your bag or in your kit, having a hammock is a great idea because you can also use it on the ground and still set up your shelter. So I would say hammock is a great gift idea. Along with that, maybe you don't want to do the straps, paracord. Any survivalist and bushcrafter knows that there's a lot of uses for paracord, so I would love to get some more paracord, any color amount. This just happens to be coyote brown, but paracord is a great gift idea, and you can use it for 1,000 different things. And who doesn't love some bear spray? So anytime you go outdoors, it's depending on where you live, it's a good idea to maybe carry some bear spray with you, whether in your pack, on your belt, or in your vehicle. I go into bear country quite often. Most of the bears out here are pretty timid of people, so you don't really have to worry about it. But if you have food, they can get a little grumpy and a little selfish and want some of them nachos for themselves. So having some bear spray is always a good idea. So moving to overall preparedness, Jackery makes this battery pack. You know, you can charge your phone with it, appliances, you can run different things off of it. It's got the 12 volt, it's got USB, 110, 300 watts. So you can run a lot of different things off this little unit. You know, you can get bigger ones, you can get smaller ones. Goal Zero also makes some good equipment just like this, but I just happen to have this Jackery. It's always worked really well for me. So having something like this in a grid down situation or power outage is a great tool. In conjunction with that would be something like this solar panel. This one is from Goal Zero. This is just a small solar panel. I usually take it when I'm hiking or camping or something. And then just a general wool blanket. This is a Pendleton wool blanket, so it's made local to me here. But having a wool blanket is always a good idea. Wool is king, keeps you very warm. It's very soft. And having this, again, in a power outage situation, winter storm or what have you, or even just kept in your vehicle, a wool blanket's a great idea. Having a set of tools is also going to be an essential item for every survivalist to have, prepper, survivalist, what have you. This is something I keep in my vehicle, but because I don't want to wheel my whole toolbox in here, so this is just an example of a toolkit that you can start with. But this is just a socket set. You can get wrenches, sockets, screwdrivers, all sorts of tools, but everybody should have a basic toolkit, even just starting with the basics as a survivalist and prepper. Mountain House meals. So you can buy these pre-assembled containers. It has 12 pouches of different types of food. Again, beef stew, beef stroganoff, granola. So you've got a couple different meals in here. You can also just buy the individual packs like I have in my vehicle roadside kits. But for anybody who's trying to put food back, canned food is a great option. But if you're trying to look for something with a little bit more variety, freeze dry, maybe you don't have much place to store a lot of food, having these little pre-made containers are great. And Mountain House, their food tastes really good too. So it helps if you are in a situation where you need to use these. At least they taste really good and they're super easy to make. Just some other smaller items would be climbing ready carabiners. I use these all the time, whether I'm lashing something down on the truck or even on my backpack. Having a bunch of these really strong climbing carabiners are always a good idea. And hats. I wear hats all the time. It's not very like survival or rescue-esque, but who doesn't love hats? So I have a lot of different styles. This one's from Fieldcraft Survival, Empire Arms and Ammunitions up in Montana. So I like hats. I can't complain every time I get a hat. I love them. I wear them all the time. Moving on from that, you've got different pouches. So this is my essentials kit. This is a Victos pouch. I have a video coming out on this probably about next month. But I like this Victos tool pouch. I carry all my essential items in it. Rack Gear makes these cool little EDC pouches. I really like these a lot. Right now I just keep gum in it, but it's a cool little pouch. And then also this is a Garage Built Gear little tool pouch as well. It's got a zipper on the back, Velcro. Right now I believe it's basically empty except some charging cables, but it's very cool, very organized. So Garage Built Gear makes some really cool equipment. If they're in stock, it's a great gift to get. And moving in with that kind of organized mindset, containers. So I have a number of these, plastic containers for keeping things organized, whether it's my Leathermans, my flashlights, or anything like that. Having some sort of way to keep everything contained or locked up if need be. Like this one actually has an O-ring seal in it, so those are great. Or my personal favorite, MTM. They're all O-ring sealed. They make all shapes and sizes. In fact, you can see some right there I've got sitting on top of my safe, but I use them for everything. Whether this one carries my food usually while I'm camping, firearm equipment, anything like that. I love MTM cases, and honestly you could pick out any MTM case and it would be a great gift idea. So the next item is going to be great for covering a variety of subjects. Coolers. So this is my Arctic soft cooler. I have hard coolers, other soft coolers. This is just my favorite. Whether I'm doing a few days hiking, or not hiking, but overlanding, off-roading, anything like that, this is a great cooler to have. Or even if you're in a grid down situation, power outage, and you want to store some food for a little bit longer term, having a cooler is always a good idea. Okay, so another great gift idea would be So this is my Vertex backpack. This thing has been all over the country with me, but this is my EDC backpack. It is basically fully loaded. Vertex makes some great equipment. This is a bigger bag just because I travel a lot. You can get all shapes and sizes, so really any pack or backpack from Vertex is going to be a great idea. I used to also carry brands like VanQuest. They make some really good, you know, if you're kind of looking for more of that tactical look. VanQuest makes some good bags. You know, Maxpedition makes some other good bags as well. I used to carry this one a lot. You can see it's covered in Rav's dog hair. But backpacks in general, you know, a brand I would really like to get is Mystery Ranch. A lot of my colleagues have Mystery Ranch and they really like them. So that would be another brand to take a look at if you are thinking of getting a backpack. They make some solid equipment and I would check them out. So the next topic is something that I hold near and dear to my heart, which is medical equipment. This is a Voodoo Tactical medical bag. This is what I keep inside of my truck at all times. Every one of my vehicles has a medical trauma kit in it. I just like this Voodoo pack because it opens up and then folds out into these 3 pockets. So it's kind of like a not so emergency, getting worse, and then trauma equipment. So having medical equipment with you, you can buy pre-made packs or you can make your own pack. I'll go over in a separate video the contents of this bag. But having a medical kit for your vehicle is going to be very important. And then segueing into that, this is the pack that I carry in my backpack, my EDC backpack. So you've got trauma shears here on the side, and then I've got hand warmers and patients going into shock for under the armpits, gloves, some tape, more gloves, cat tourniquet, tweezers, cat tourniquet, mirror, quick clot gauze, Z-fold North American Rescue gauze. So this is going to be a IFAK or an individual first aid kit. This is what I carry in my EDC backpack. So you can buy this minus a couple items, but you can buy this as a whole kit off North American Rescue's website. And any other medical equipment you see here, you can basically get off their website. So I would definitely check them out. North American Rescue with some extra added items. And then from Atlas Supply Company, this is my ankle rig. I wear this on my ankle every day that I go out. You've got gloves, of course, got to protect yourself. But then you've got a soft T tourniquet. Again, hand warmers to treat victims going into shock. Chest seals, you've got hemostatic agents, you've got quick clot, Benchmade 8 hook, and then a Sharpie to write the date, time, any other details. But this just rides on my ankle everywhere I go. Doesn't take up a lot of space. And then whether I'm away from my vehicle or my backpack, I have trauma equipment with me. Live the Creed also makes this really cool pocket trauma kit. This one is in the Desert Tan. You've got Molly on the back, but it unfolds and opens up. You've got a SWAT T tourniquet up here, some simple band-aids, antiseptic wipes, you've got gloves, of course, again, and then a hemostatic pad underneath here. So this is just a great basic everyday carry in the pocket little trauma kit. Really cool idea. I like Live the Creed. They make some really solid gear and equipment. I would definitely check them out and the other packs that they have. Then a company called My Medic makes this Pet Medic. So it's first aid supplies for dogs. So you've got anything from antiseptic wipes, tweezers, which is going to be very important with dogs, slip leash, first aid pet guide, non-adherent bandages, Benadryl, anything that you could potentially run out to almost in the wilderness or outdoors that you can treat your pet for. So I have these in all of my vehicles. I know I say that all the time, but I do. This stuff stays with Rav's equipment, and so even though a lot of this other stuff can translate over to dogs, having something specific for pets is always going to be a good idea. Another good gift idea would be a multi-tool of some sort. So I basically only carry Leatherman. I've had Gerbers and I broke them, so I basically only carry Leatherman now. This is going to be the Leatherman Skeletool. This is a great option for the EDC minded. So whether it's going in a pack or this one has a pocket clip. So an everyday carry multi-tool, this Leatherman Skeletool. Then you can step it up for somebody who's going to be using it more often, the Super Tool 300. This is a very tough multi-tool. It's a solid choice. To kind of bridge the gap between the two, between the everyday carry and then the really hard use, I've got the Leatherman Wave. This is a Wave Plus. This one is coated in their black oxide, but it's got, you know, needle nose pliers, the wire cutters, saw blade on it, measuring device, knife, all that kind of stuff. But this one is also very comfortable, more hard use, but also folds down into a really small, compact, convenient size. So I like this one because it kind of bridges the gap between the two. Another item on the list would be a headlamp. So this is a black diamond headlamp. You can also get Petzl. They make some great, Olight makes some good ones, but I really like black diamond headlamps. Headlamps are really important for any grid down, power out situation. And then you can go into EDC flashlights. So whether it's a small stream light, just a small EDC stream light with a pocket clip, or you can do these, you know, a Phoenix, a basic Phoenix light. You can go into some of the more EDC minded Olight flashlights. You've got some more color options and some more features and styles and that kind of stuff. Definitely going to be more bright with these Olight flashlights. And then you can start getting into some of the bigger options. Like this is the M18 Striker. I don't know if they still make this exact model, but I know you can get different styles like it, but it does have the strike bezel on it. This is an extremely bright flashlight and definitely great for any tactical user. Then you start getting into the really big flashlights. So this is the, I believe the M2R Warrior from Olight. This is also an extremely bright flashlight. It has a tail switch here for maximum brightness, you know, to blind and remove night vision and whatnot. So this is going to be a really bright flashlight. Great also for tactical situations and search and rescue. Then you've got, this is the P12 from Nightcore. This is a great flashlight, all-around flashlight. The bezel is covered, so it's great if you don't want to accidentally depress that button. But this is also a bright, lots of options for settings and everything. So this is going to be a great outdoor and search and rescue style flashlight. And then for basic emergency, search and rescue, anything like that, this is the Olight Seeker 3. This is an extremely bright flashlight. I keep one of these in my truck for camping or anything like that, and it can definitely light up an entire field. It is magnet rechargeable. You can see it's got 4 LED chips in there, but this is an extremely bright flashlight and would be a great gift for anybody who spends any time outdoors. And the last item on this list is going to be pocket knives. Anybody who's followed me for a while knows I love pocket knives. I collect pocket knives, but more importantly, I use pocket knives. Whether I'm bushcrafting, camping, at home, working, whatever, I use pocket knives in my everyday life, and they'd be a great gift idea. So one option would be something like this Spyderco Paramilitary. This is a great slicing blade. Anybody who does a lot of food processing or anything like that, this is going to be a great option. Not the most robust knife, but again, anybody doing just EDC, maybe works in an office, doesn't really have to you know, use the knife extensively. This is going to be a great option. You can go into brands like, this is a CJRB. I really like JG10. This one is made in China, but it is a solid knife, liner lock. It's on ball bearing, so it's extremely smooth action, D2 tool steel. So this is a cool CJRB knife. I really like this one a lot. And then of course, no knife video would be complete without a bug out, Benchmade bug out. This one happens to have the copper scales on it. This is S30V blade steel, but this one does have copper scales. I carry this knife a lot. I really like the bug out family. For most cases, I do prefer to change out the scales on them just because the plastic scales are a little too flexible for me. I doubt they will ever break with anything that I'm doing. I just don't like the feel of them bending in my hand, so I really like the copper. And you can get titanium, you can get brass and all sorts of materials. So Benchmade bug out's a great option. You can get into a classic and do something like the old Swiss Army knife. I bought this one because I plan to change out the scales and carry it actually more often while I'm bushcrafting, because I typically will use a fixed blade. So just having a small multi-tool knife would be a good option to carry. And then this little Civivi, I wonder if you guys can see this, it's so small. This is just a cool little gift. This is a Civivi slip joint, little back flipper that I got at that time. Little back flipper. This is just a cool little knife from Civivi. I always wanted one of these. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it's going to be a great gift idea. Any knife from any of these brands are going to be a solid choice to choose from. Okay, everyone, so that about wraps it up for the gift guide. If there is anything on this list that you would like to see this Christmas, leave it in the comments below. But until next time, hit the like button for me, subscribe. I will try and link everything that I can down below in the description. But make sure you have safe travels this holiday season. And until next time, Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 hi, everyone. Just kidding, I'm not using that, but I did want to say that. Nice, perfect. Ooh, it's hot. It's hot. Everything goes well when you just wing it. Okay, everyone, so that about wraps it up. Okay, I'm gonna start over. Get ready to cut, Austin, you handsome devil. Or Santa, Grinch. Stop staring at me. On Thanksgiving, I released my stocking stuffer video idea. Nope, that didn't make sense. Jackery, Goal Zero also makes some good battery jumpers. Nope. What is this called? This has an octagonal shape. Octagonal, right? Octagonal? Octagonal? I believe it's octagonal. Octagonal shape. And for those of you who don't know, these are not meant for the road. If you're a Ford driver or a Jeep driver, you do not need to be turning these on when you're on the highway. Keep them for off-road. It's Christmas.